Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Spotlight for November 30th, 2020. In this episode, we will finally learn the truth about Mr. Aguilera's last name, find out unusual things he can do with his perfect pitch. Shane also shares with us hints about when he might be releasing his next EP. What is your name and where are you from?
Well, my name is Shane Ryder Aguilera, and I am from and currently reside in Hollywood Hills, California, which is technically Los Angeles.
Now, I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of others are curious. Um, that name, Aguilera. There's, certainly a pop star that has that famous last name. Any relation?
Not that I'm aware of.
What ethnicity is that last name? What culture does it come from?
Well, my father is Hispanic, my mom is German and Irish and English and all these other things.
Oh, so you're like the rest of us, a mutt?
Yes.
What is your eye condition and would you want to see if it were at all possible?
All right, so my eye condition is I had retinoblastoma, and because of that, my eyes had to be removed when I was 2 months old. And on the question of being able to see, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it, but I wouldn't want to be someone's guinea pig to try something either. So I basically want to know all about the cure and what it entails.
So, how many prostheses have you had?
About 6 or 7 different pairs. I'm actually um, getting looked at for another one quite soon.
Sweet. Have you always chosen the same eye color or have you
Yes,
changed it up?
I just go for the color that I was born with, which is blue.
Different shades or always the same shade?
Always the same. I'm not someone who wants to be particularly inventive.
Fair enough. How long have you been involved with ACB?
Well, let's see. I had been a member of ACB since the summer of the summer of 2019, and I decided to do that because I had just been browsing the website one day and I liked kind of what I heard about it, so I decided to call up and become a member at large, and then it started there.
Sweet. Did you ever consider one of the other organizations?
I had done research on other organizations as well, but I had not particularly much interest, so I'd never been like involved in any other one.
Fair enough. Why did you join ACB and or Next Generation?
Well, I joined. Okay, I'll mention both of them. So I joined ACB because I liked what I read about, like their mission and all that kind of stuff. So then, when I heard I was doing the convention and I heard about Next Gen, and I went to the Next Gen meet and greet thing, I thought that was pretty cool as well. So after the virtual convention 2020, I became an ACB life member first, and then I went ahead and joined Next Gen.
Yay! Are you on any committees or hold an office within Next Gen?
No, I'm not currently in on any committee with Next Gen.
What is the best thing about being a Next Gen member?
I think the best thing about being a next gen member is that the young people all have like an affiliate where they can connect in, and that's what I think my favorite part about it is.
Who would you love to work with within ACB?
Um, I like the work that Tony Stevens is doing as the director of development because um, I've always had fun times doing like fundraising type projects and the like. So that sounds pretty interesting to me.
Epic. What are your goals within ACB?
My goals within ACB are to make sure my I want my voice to be heard within the organization, and I might eventually start um, being more active in like committees and starting different boards and different affiliates and the like. But I just got to see what life kind of brings in the future.
And it's so unpredictable right now,
Right.
dude. What are your goals outside of ACB?
my goals outside of the ACB are continue to do music, and um, I also have other interests as well. Like I love technology. I like investments, all that kind of stuff. So I like to do stuff in those three areas, maybe combined.
Yeah, if you can help it and then get paid for it, hot dog. What are your achievements outside of ACB?
Let's see, I played music with people like Stevie Wonder. That was pretty fun. I played with him at an event in December of 2018, and we played a couple songs, a country song called Walking the Floor Over You, as well as the Christmas song Chestnuts Roasting on Open Fire, because it was time around Christmas. That was one of my big achievements, in my opinion, as well as making a demonstration album that I released in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the main ones in my personal opinion.
Did you go through a studio to create your demo album, or were you able to actually do it all at home?
So what I did is I did the demos for the demo album at home because I have recording software. I'm pretty competent at it, but I like being produced, so I recorded it in studio.
Okay, back up a little bit there. I'm a little, explain this a little further. So you recorded at home or you recorded in studio?
So I recorded the recordings for the producer to listen to at home to basically get the gist of the songs and what instrumentation and all that kind of things. And then after that, I went in and recorded it
in studio with the producer and engineer and all the things.
The producer was acting as producer and engineer at the same time.
Gotcha. Do you do any kind of volunteer work outside of ACB?
Not necessarily hands-on volunteer work, but I have led like fundraising projects for other nonprofits in the Los Angeles area. When it comes to their events and such, I have helped them raise funds for different events and the like.
I would say that qualifies as volunteering outside of ACB.
Yeah.
This year's national convention's theme was a path to the future. What does that look like?
I feel like in terms of the future of the ACB, I feel like the next generation of ACB members, whether they're in next gen or not, the younger members, I feel like should have more of a voice and say. However, I do feel like the traditions of the organization should remain at least intact. Like I don't think a whole revolution should take place, but I do feel like younger voices should be heard as well.
Viva la revolution! I agree. I really feel that we need to figure out that both sides need to figure out how to build a bridge.
Right, because I've heard young people basically dismiss the older and then vice versa. So I kind of think there should be a middle ground of some sort.
There should. There really, really, really should. What makes you smile?
Let's see, many, many things do actually, such as music. Working out makes me very excited. When it comes to music, well, listening to and playing. Let's see what else. My friends and family also make me smile very much. But I just tend to, I always am known for kind of being in a positive, smiley mood most, or if not almost all the time.
Are you saying you never have days where you don't smile? Or you're like in a bad mood for whatever reason?
I probably do, but it's not a common occurrence.
Fair enough. Are you a night owl or a lark?
Definitely a lark. I'm quite a boring person. I'm usually out by like 9 p.m.
So define morning person. If you're out by 9, does that mean you're up by like 5 or 4?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm up by 5:30 ish.
Oh gosh, and then you're just waiting for the rest of us to catch up, I'm sure.
Well, when I get up, I just usually just check Facebook, see what's going on, and I like having all that morning time.
Ah, yes. The self-care time. Oh yeah, I
Which I
understand.
used to be a night owl when I was a bit younger. However, I noticed I have all that time to BS around on social media in the morning too. So there's no point in doing such things.
So you're in your early 20s, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 20 exactly, which a lot of
Oh,
people,
yeah.
which a lot of people are surprised by.
Is there an outfit or piece of clothing that makes you feel amazing?
Well, I'm not trying to sound pretentious, but I do love wearing my Rolex watch.
What about wearing your Rolex watch makes you feel fabulous?
Probably because it was one of my first purchases when I turned 18. Instead of like getting a car or something, I decided to get myself that instead, and it's just something that makes me feel good.
Awesome. How did you know that it was a thing to get? Because not all blind people are aware that having a Rolex watch can be in some circles a status symbol.
Well, my grandpa's a huge fan of different watches, and he's shown me all of his different watches, and so I've kind of gotten an interest in that from there, as well as just reading about them and how they're made, and all the effort put into making them by hand and the mechanical movements and all that fun stuff.
So are you a collector?
I
Or you
wouldn't say
want to be, just
collector, no.
haven't had the funds yet?
I just haven't found other watches that I'd want to collect yet.
Where have you traveled, and or where would you like to travel to?
And see, I love going to Texas because it's a completely different scene from here in California. Especially like to go get barbecue down there, and I also like seeing Texas country music over there. So that's where I like to travel, as well as to see family over there. So that's where I like to travel.
So just Texas?
I'd say that's the main one, but I also like Florida.
You don't want to try another country?
It hasn't really crossed my mind too much, but um, if I mean, it hasn't really crossed my mind that much.
Fair enough. Tell us about one of your craziest adventures as a blind person.
One of my craziest adventures as a blind person was driving around the street and parking lots and all all that fun stuff.
Who let you get away with that?
Let's see, it was when my sister was learning how to drive, and okay, so I originally tried driving when I was really young, but I had quite a bit of assistance then. But this experience I'm particularly talking about is when my sister was learning how to drive. So because she was on her permit and gonna get her license. So
Hmm.
of course I was like, okay, my mom was in the car too. I was like, of course I want to try this too. And we were near a local mall, but we were on the main street. So she got my sister out of the driver's seat, and I got in the driver's seat and started. I was driving, and then she was trying to tell me like right, left, right, stop, go, and apparently we had security looking at me, and they thought I was being. They knew something was going on.
But at least you got to try it.
Hmm.
How did that impact your life?
Well, it made me realize that driving probably wasn't a very good career prospect, even though I did even though I did apply for a job as a driver with Dionne Warwick because she had mentioned that she saw a picture of me with my cane out the window on Facebook. So I'm like, can I please be your driver? Then I've tried it and I think I'm pretty good. And then she's like, and then she's like, oh hell no, and I'm not kidding.
Do you have some hidden quirky talent?
Yes, it's perfect pitch. However, I've used it for quirky reasons. For example, when I was about 8 or so years old, this was around the time people checked their voicemails on their phone. And so I listened to them enter their password. And of course, I was able to hear what numbers they were pressing on the telephone. So I would I would know their phone numbers because I still do have an insanely good memory of phone numbers, and I'd call them and hopefully they didn't answer and go into their voicemail and start listening.
Dude. Okay, that is awesome, yet
Another another
creepy.
me That's why I was known as the little devil when I was a kid. And also
Oh.
another talent I have that everyone hated me for was that I have the musical ability to play a song in one key and sing it in the other and stay in the same keys. It would drive people absolutely crazy.
Wait.
So
Okay.
so say the song was in okay, so for example, I'd be playing one song on the guitar in the key of B flat, and
Okay.
I'd be singing the same song in the key of C. And even though it sounds terrible, it's kind of
No,
funny and interesting.
that is a really cool quirky talent. That is rare.
I used to, I mean, I still do drive my voice teacher crazy with that.
What book changed your life?
Well, this would be an interesting question because I'm not much of a reader, but I'd probably have to say a book that I like is called Anyone Who Had a Heart, the autobiography of Burt Bacharach. And the reason why I like it is because it's not the normal celebrity fluff piece. Instead, he talks about in depth his composition styles and how he writes all of his hit songs. And that gave me a lot of inspiration for when I come up with music as well, some of the techniques that he brought up in this book.
Who would you love to meet in fact, fiction, or fantasy?
Let's see, I would have loved to meet Alex Trebek
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
um, I still am a huge fan of Jeopardy, and I thought he was like the perfect host of that, and it'd be good to pick his mind on all these different topics because I've seen interviews with him and he goes in depth in all kinds of different matters, and I think he seemed like a very interesting person.
Yeah, I agree. What gives you confidence?
I feel like my music abilities do give me confidence.
Hmm.
However, I wouldn't necessarily want to be too egotistical about them either. But also, I just have more of a confident than not personality. So I never really doubt that much about myself without trying to get too egotistical at the same time.
So you're in denial of your big head? I mean, you've got this amazing fluffy hair. Why deny it?
The crazy part was it used to be a lot longer. I mean, not a lot longer, but quite a
Yeah,
decent amount longer.
I've seen pictures, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm referring to. I'm like,
Now it's a
dude,
bit.
it's got amazing curly fluffy hair. Cool.
I get comments about that all the time, actually.
Yeah, but it's kind of a pain to have, isn't it?
Um, It was until I started getting it cut a little more.
Fair enough. What are you passionate about?
Let's see, I'm obviously 100% a given. This is obvious, but passionate about music. And,
No, not obvious.
and I'm also uh, passionate that crazy enough about technology and its potential as well as its downfalls, which there are. And I'm also passionate about personal finance, and I absolutely love that topic.
Dude. Okay, so what would be the top tip in terms of personal finance that you would give to someone?
Invest liberally when you're young, and take it. But if you're older, don't blow all your money away. Because I know some people once they're in like late midlife, they start being like, "Oh, I want to make tons of money," and then of course stock market crashes. When someone's younger, they can handle that kind of thing. So when they're older, they gradually move into safer assets.
What is a significant date or event that has made a big impact in your life?
Let's see here. I'd say February 1st, 2019, because that was when I released the first music in my first music on the music platforms. And even though it's just a kind of, in my mind, a demonstration record, it still gives people a chance to hear what it's all about. So that's kind of like, in my opinion, the first step of getting this thing going. And it did take off on Spotify a while back.
Dude, very cool. Where has life taken you so far?
Life has kept me right around here where I came from. But I look forward to seeing what, because this year was supposed to kind of be my kind of landmark year, and of course that changed.
COVID.
Pretty much, because I was supposed to do all kinds of cool gigs and other things, and obviously that got canceled because of the coronavirus and all that.
Totally. So have you thought about like making a second quote unquote demo album so it's all ready to go when COVID ends so you can, have a second jumping off point to make all the things happen?
My plan is, I have this stuff all recorded here on my computer,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm planning on releasing some of it maybe after COVID ends, but not like a full length album, as I want to record a lot of the songs that are on my computer now professionally.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want duplicate copies to be circulating on the internet.
What do people not know about you?
That I have a major interest in cryptocurrency and that I love Bitcoin. I love all that kind of stuff.
What skill do you wish you had? And what are the barriers to getting it?
Let's see here. I have to think about that one for a second. No, I think I wish I was better at like reading people and reading what people are kind of subliminally saying and that kind of thing. The barriers that I'd have to overcome is just observing people more, not just what they say, but kind of how they say it and more contextual evidence and all that kind of thing.
Dude. Yep. Yep. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I see myself just playing music, recording, singing on stage, maybe playing with other people, as well as potentially owning different companies. And because I've just trying to think of different business ideas and all that kind of thing. So I hope to get into more of like the entrepreneurship side of things as well.
Now, I know you're relatively young, but
But
what advice would you give your younger self?
I tell my younger self to let's see, to take things, not necessarily if you see a good opportunity, take advantage of that. Absolutely, that's what I'd say. Obviously, still do research on it and make sure it's legitimate and all that kind of thing. But if you see something that's promising and it could do you well, then take advantage of that rather than rather than just waiting on it.
What do you wish you really understood?
I think a lot of people say this, but I wish I understood other people.
No, not everybody says that.
No, I know, but I think a lot of people would say such a thing because
Yeah.
obviously people are obviously very different, and sometimes it's hard to actually understand what people are kind of thinking or why they do specific
Humans,
things or
humans.
yeah.
Not everybody understands and realizes that we are, but what is the strangest question anyone has ever asked you?
Let's see. Strange question.
Strangest.
No, I'm trying to think of any strange question someone asked me at this point because I tend to give people more of the benefit of the doubt than more of the time, because I notice a lot of questions people ask in terms of blindness, people might view them as strange, but I kind of am used to them at this point. But I'd say maybe one of the strangest questions I got asked once was, "How do blind people talk?" Someone did ask that.
Say you are at a gathering and you're sitting next to somebody new. How do you start a real conversation?
I do that at concerts all the time. Funny enough, I just look over and start talking to my seatmate, being like, "Hey, how's it going?" So, and I talk about like common interests. So, for example, at a concert, I might talk about what songs of the singer I like, and then I might tell them about who I am, and then they tell me about who I am. So then it just kind of turns into a small talk, and then it often turns into connection that I can use later as well.
How do you stop a compulsive talker?
I might just kind of move the subject to something that they might not be interested in. But I don't know if I'm the best judge of that because I'm kind of quite a bit of a talker. Yeah, I get that from my grandma because she goes on and on and on, and I'm not that much of a talker, but it's
No, I
hilarious.
was gonna say I haven't noticed you go on and on. You don't.
I love when people go on and on. Oftentimes they like to like embellish and kind of make stories sound better than they actually are, and
Ugh.
I don't even try to stop them. I love hearing the story. It's very
Or
entertaining to me.
they're the know-it-alls that feel like they have to, tell you all about whatever it is, but in this, not nice attitude. Or they're like me because I'll do it. I geek out about something and I get really excited about a topic, and then I will just go on and on. And then I have to, oh yeah, this person might not be as excited about whatever topic it is. Hmm.
Sometimes I do that too. I can go on and on and on about the same thing for quite a while, and
Mm-hmm.
then I notice
In
that
detail.
people are losing interest, and then I'm like, okay, so anyway.
Yep, exactly. How do you tell someone they have their facts wrong?
I'm usually not the person who would be like, "Oh, that's totally wrong." I'd be like, "Oh, according to what I know and what I've researched, or this is actually the case," and then I try to find the information just to make sure that my information is correct, because I don't want to be proving someone wrong and then find out that I'm wrong.
Oh, that you're the asshole in question? Yeah.
So I like to verify, but even when people make claims, I usually let them make their claims, and then I find out the information later.
Gotcha. Is there anyone you just cannot feel empathy for?
Yes, people who commit like major serious crimes and uh extreme crimes and like murder and all that, I have no empathy for them whatsoever.
What, if anything, would make you end a friendship?
Let's see, the fact that they were telling like major falsehoods about me, and if they did something that I deemed like inappropriate, even if it wasn't towards the friendship directly, but it just depends on their personal character and all that kind of thing. So
Gotcha. What do you wish people understood about you?
just people understood that I was just, even though I have all these little idiosyncrasies, I'm still quite a simple person and not too hard to understand.
How do you like to deliver bad news? In person, by email, or by carrier pigeon?
In person, if at all possible, because then you have the whole like, because when either a phone screen is reading it or someone's reading it on the screen, might seem a little like, I don't know how to describe it. Might seem a little like insincere, or that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of being just uh ignored almost, just like in passing kind of,
Mm-hmm.
or if in person was impossible, then I'd rather do it like over the phone because at least they'd be able to hear the tone of voice and more understand the situation and how I feel about it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, text or email do not allow for voice inflections whatsoever.
Mm-mm. And obviously, there's emojis, but those kind of look a little more like I use them more for like laughing and such things, but
Yeah.
they might come off as a bit insincere or such also.
Yeah, exactly. What would you like the ACB community to know about you?
That they're stuck with me, whether they like it or not.
In other words, put you to work, but figure out how to work with you.
Yes, pretty much.
Fair enough.
After all, I am a life member.
Yeah, this is true. Awesome. And that's it. That's all I
All
got.
right.
I had no idea there were 20-year-olds out there so passionate about personal finance. Way to go, Shane. Next time, we will be interviewing Greg Snyder, aka Triple G, who is actually in the role of supporting member for NextGen, just like myself. If you'd like to support ACB NextGen, then please give this video a like. If you'd like to be notified when we do another Monday Spotlight, then please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit notifications for all. Until next time, this is Desiree A. Christian.